Bambinos. Happy Monday morning to you all. What a glorious day it is. Welcome to today's video. So we started off last week pretty hardcore with quite a lot of leg work. So today we're going to start off this week a little bit more relaxed and stretchy vibes it is. So I know that kind of in quarantine quite a lot of people have been setting themselves little goals, which I think is awesome and a really cool way to kind of keep you motivated and keep you doing something, having a little think about like a mini goal or a little challenge you could set yourself. And my gorgeous bestie, Erin, has decided that her mini challenge is to achieve the splits. She wants splits by the end of quarantine, and I am here to help and facilitate that. So today's video is going to be our movement flow and prep for the splits. So we've got some hip flexor stretches, we've got some lovely hamstring work, and then keeping it all nice and stretchy on the floor. And at the end, we're going to have a little experiment, see what we get out of the splits today. And you can basically work with this video every day or 5 times a week, and see week to week how these splits progress. Side note, I haven't done my splits work for months, so we're going to see today how low I can get as well, and I will work with you guys and with Erin and see what kind of movement we can make in this pose. So throw your mats down, stay nice and warm because we're going to be fairly stretchy in this one from the start, and join me. We're going to start lying down. What a treat. Hang a little grasp onto your knees. Take a little lie down onto your back on your mat, so your back is relaxed, and just hug the knees into the chest for me. Take a little rock from side to side in your hips. Just gently allow the head and the shoulders to rest. And just take a few deep breaths, maybe close your eyes. Just tap back into that yoga breathing. Think about inhaling through the nose, down to the belly, exhaling out of the mouth, big release here. Holding on to this yoga breathing as we come into our stretches. It's going to allow us to get a little further today through some long holds. Allow the soles of the feet to come together, hands to inner thigh or inner knee, and just encourage them down for a moment here in butterfly. Starting to think about opening up the hips, the pelvis and the inner thigh. So if you can take a breath in and just reach your hands towards your knees. Exhale, give a little pressure there to lower them. Inhale, hold that place. Exhale, relax the butt, relax the legs, allow the knees to fall open wider. By taking the knees in the hands and just scooping them back up through centre, grab a hold of the right leg behind the knee here. And think about lengthening it up to the ceiling. So we're going to take a super straight leg, heel pushes up, toes draw back down towards the chest and straighten through the knee. Now take your hand position as low or as high as you want to go and relax the head on down to the floor. Take opposite leg, and as long as it feels right for your hips, lengthen it long to the floor. Keep both legs straight as you relax the shoulders, relax the head. Use those exhale breaths like a sigh to just let gravity drag this leg a little closer into you. You should be feeling this gorgeous stretch right into your hamstring here. If you make it, see if you can walk your hands a little higher up your leg. Doesn't matter where you're holding here, if it's back of thigh, calf, ankle, maybe take a hold of the foot, whatever feels right for you. With one more big breath. Exhale, let all that tension dissipate across the body. Moving the hands over to the outer part of the leg. Turning your toes towards opposite shoulder and gently dragging that leg across you just until you start to feel that stretch move into the outer part of the hip, the butt and the glute, but without lifting your pelvis off the floor here. Staying grounded in the pelvis. Maybe even use the right fingertips just to push the hip into the floor here. And drag that leg across to feel the outer leg stretch. Inhale, come back up through center, taking a hold of the inner thigh, either here, maybe a little higher, inner part of the calf. If you make it, wrap 2 fingers around the big toe and let that foot drop open towards the side. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, wherever you're holding that leg, keep trying to straighten the knee, squeeze up the quad. Exhale, let the leg go gently a little lower towards the floor. Inhale, hold. Exhale, relax. Inhale, bend that knee, bring it back into your center. Place the foot to the floor. And take a hold of the left this time. So super straight leg is most important. We don't want to compromise the length through the back of the knee. That's where we're going to target the hamstring stretch. Take a hold here. Maybe you can go a little higher, whatever feels right for you, where you can still make sure that your leg is straight and your head is rested. If it feels okay on the hips, take an inhale breath. Draw right leg long to the floor, point the toe, and stay straight in both legs. Pushing that heel up to the ceiling. Using your exhale breaths to draw the leg lower towards you. Using your inhale breaths maybe to walk the hands a little higher, up the leg, up the thigh, or over the foot. Inhale, hold. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale and hold. Exhale, draw into you. Inhale, maybe take the outer part of the leg, turn the toe over to initiate that movement, that little twist in the ankle, and then draw the leg across you. Keep grounded in the hip. Use thumb or hand into the side of the pelvis there. Ground it and draw the leg across. You should feel that length coming all the way up the outer part of the leg, into the ankle and the foot as well. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come back up through center. Take a hold of either inner thigh, inner calf with a nice straight leg, or if you can, 2 fingers hook the big toe, and we just let that arm and that leg drop open to the side, as low as feels right for you. Opposite hand can be placed on the hip just to ground the pelvis. Whatever feels right. Take 2 more big deep breaths here for me. Inhale, hold. Exhale, relax the shoulder. Let the leg go a little lower. Inhale, straighten up that knee. Exhale, relax into the floor. And inhale, bend the knee, draw everything back in. Take a little hug of your knees into your chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And then using a little bit of momentum, rock your way up to seated. Beautiful. Carrying on these hamstring stretches. I'm going to come front ways on just so you can see. We're going to come into down dog just for a moment. So hands about shoulder width onto the floor. Toes tuck and hips lift and push back. Create that straight, strong spine just by tipping the pelvis right up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulder blades together, pushing the head through the little gap. And then I want you here to take 5 big breaths. We're going to go inhale, bend the knees, lower the body towards the thighs, like a crouch. Exhale, straighten the knees, and try and get your heels towards the floor. 5 times here. Inhale, bend and lower. Exhale, straighten and push to the floor. Accentuating that hamstring stretch. Using your exhale breaths to release and find the length. So we're not pushing for these stretches. We are relaxing and actively softening into them. 2 more times with your breath. And on your last inhale breath, as you draw into that crouch, allow the knees to come to the floor. Walk your hands back in towards you. We're going to take the right leg out wide. Set the foot flat to the floor. Now, tip make this stretch a little harder or a little less intense depending on your hip flexibility. Knee in line with your hip. It's going to be a less intense stretch. More intense stretch, I want you to take that left knee out a little wider, almost as if you were going to come into a child's pose. So set that knee wherever feels right for you, and then walk your hands forward and down, and try and relax either hands, forearms, forehead, or chest towards the floor. Take a little breath here. Soften it down. Think about that right leg. This is where we want the inner thigh stretch to feel. So can you draw some energy up your kneecap, a little squeeze on the quad, straighten out that leg, and push into the outer part of the foot to the floor. Inhale, walk the hands back in, and as you do, push your hips back so you're sitting right onto that back heel. Keep feeling that stretch. Keep pulling up the quad to release and stretch hamstring, inner thigh. And a little more stretch here today. We're going to set the left hand in front for balance. Take the right hand and reach it towards that leg. Take the shin, the ankle or the foot, lower your body towards it. Hold here just for 2 last breaths. If it's enough, stay. If you can, take the left hand to meet it. Exhale, lower your body towards the right thigh. Inhale, hold, squeeze kneecap. Exhale, release, go lower. Inhale, walk your hands back in through center, walk back up, and change sides for me. So again, we're going to set the left leg out long, foot flat to the floor. You're going to take either less intense stretch, right knee directly in front of pelvis, a little bit more, goes a little bit wider, even more stretch here today. And then leaving your hips just slightly high off of your heel to start with. Think about walking hands forward and down. Exhale the chest to the floor. Exhale the forehead. Maybe might just feel good to relax. You might be able to walk the fingertips a little further forward. Feel a really nice extension at the spine as well here. We're still working in and all around those hips and the hip flexors. Inhale, walk up and into the hands, pushing the hips back now, feeling a little more intensity on that length in the inner thigh, and using the right hand in front of you as a little support system. Reach the left hand, take a hold of shin, ankle or foot, and turn towards that leg. Last few breaths. If you can, and you're stable in this pose, see if you can take the right hand as well, reach it all the way across. See if you can use your exhale breaths to work nose towards the knee, torso towards the thigh, hips and shoulders lower towards the floor. And inhale, walk it back out. Slowly heel toe that foot in and then reset, knees together. I'm going to turn across my mat now. Last little drill, last bit of movement flow that's going to take us into our splits. So I'm going to go right leg forward, this time come on with me. From a high plank position, so hands just under the shoulders, knees or lifted onto the toes. Take a big lunge with your right leg and set it just outside the right hand. Drop the back knee to the floor, flatten the foot and hold here your lizard lunge level 1. With the hands flat, I want you to breathe your chest forward, look forward to lift the collarbones, and take 3 breaths to exhale, release your hips. Hip position is working forward and down, so it's like you're trying to get your pelvis to move towards your hands. Lovely. Exhale, leaving the feet as they are. Walk your hands back, walk up out of your hips. Start to straighten the front leg and take this one into a hamstring stretch. So to start with, I want you to try and keep your front foot flat to the floor, straighten the knee, and tip the hips back so you're pushing your tailbone out behind you, working your chest towards the floor, towards the front thigh. Hold for 3. Hamstrings should feel lovely and long by now. Breathe in as you come out of that one. Walk the hands back inside the foot. Come back into your lizard lunge. Hold for 3 more breaths, or take this one a little further. You can either just walk your hands a little further forward, and that's going to encourage more of your weight to come forward and lower the pelvis. Or if you make it, see if you can get your forearms to the floor in full lizard lunge. Exhale the hips down. Inhale, check that knee alignment. If your knee's dropped all the way out, just draw it back in with a little squeeze on the inner thigh. Try and make sure knee sits above ankle. 3 breaths here. And then inhale, walk back up off the forearms, walk the hands back in. Push the hips back. This time lift those front toes as you come into your hamstring stretch. Straighten the front knee, lower chest. Tailbone pushes out behind you. Feel that length all the way up the hamstring. 3 exhales to work your chest lower towards the thigh. And last time here, walk forward. Again, if it's enough, 3 breaths here in your modified lizard lunge. If you make it, hands forward or forearms down. And whether you're on hands or forearms, your last little challenge today is just to tuck your back toes and then extend this stretch without lifting the hips. Pull your back kneecap hard off the floor. Find a little more stretch up the back hip flexor. Exhale down the hips. Inhale, lift the kneecap. Exhale down the hips. And inhale, walk back through. Last time, hamstring stretch. Lift those front toes. Push the hips back and lower the chest. You're going to hold here for me for about 5 to 10 breaths. Or we start to go. So if you want to come into your splits now, you're going to inch your foot forward depending on how slippery your mat is. You're going to use your hands either side of your hips for support. And you're going to lower your body down, keeping that front foot flexed, back foot relaxed to the floor. Lift the chest up high, lower the hips. Inhale up the chest. You're going to be tall in your monkey pose. So in yoga we call this one monkey pose as well as the splits. Exhale down the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, release, relax. Either inch your feet back in towards you or lower down onto the hips. Take a little roll out of that one. Woo. Come back to kneeling for me. How do your legs feel? A little one-sided, maybe? Last time through. Repeat that on the other side. So we're going to come into a high plank. Find the hands, shoulder width, toes tuck, lift up, hold there. Inhale, breathe into your plank. Exhale, lunge your left leg forward. Land it just outside the left hand. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Drop the back knee, flatten the foot. Lizard lunge round 1, give me 3 breaths here. Inhale, draw the chest and the head forward. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, lift the eye gaze. Take a big look forward, collarbones up. Exhale, lower the pelvis. Think forward and down. And inhale, push it back. Into your hamstring stretch round 1. Hands come behind the hips, or beside the hips, sorry. Front foot stays flat to the floor round 1 on this hamstring stretch. Think tailbone shoots behind you. Chest lowers, but we're keeping the spine as straight as possible. So I'm trying not to kind of hunch and collapse here. Notice how chest is up, and the emphasis is on pushing back in the hip line. Inhale, walk forward. Rebend front knee, reset front foot. Bring the hands in. Option to just take them a little further forward than round one. See how that encourages your hips lower. If you can, lizard lunge. We're down into the hips, pulling the knee into alignment, breathing the chest forward. Exhaling the pelvis down. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, walk the hands back up. Walk the hands back to the hips. As you straighten front leg this time, lift up the toes, pull them and curl them back towards your chest, and stick your butt back out behind you. It's that real feeling of tilting the pelvis back, like you're trying to push your butt as far as you can behind you. And exhale the chest forward. 2 more breaths, inhale and hold. Exhale and lower. Inhale and hold. Exhale, lower. Last time into lizard. Inhale, bend the knee, walk forward. Drop the hips. Walk the hands forward. Onto forearms if you make it. And either on hands or forearms today, to get a little bit more length in the hip flexor, can you tuck your back toes and pull the kneecap hard off the floor? Give me 3. Inhale, kneecap up. Exhale, hips down. Exhale, lower and lift into your hamstring stretch for the last time. Option is to just stay here, 5 to 10 more breaths, holding. If you're coming with me and you're testing this position today, or if you've already unlocked your splits, then amazing, well done you. Take both legs long, inch the front foot further forward, inch the back kneecap back, lower your hips towards the floor as feels right for them. Walk your hands back up to lift the chest. Breathe in, rib cage lifts. Exhale, hips lower. Breathe in, rib cage lift. Exhale, down. Breathe in, lift. And exhale, down. Take however much movement you need to lower yourself down out of that one. Maybe collapse. Do whatever feels right. Come into a little seated position or a little star pose, soles of the feet together, hold them in, let the knees drop wide. Open out and release those inner thighs. Take a nice big exhale breath. How do your hips feel? I bet they feel lovely. So this is going to be epic for anybody that struggles with hip or hamstring pain. Any of you beautiful runners out there, this is going to be a lovely stretch sequence for you. But if you want to join me and Eiron in our splits challenge and unlock that monkey pose by the end of lockdown, and add this video on to like the end of your home workouts, do it at lunchtime, do it before bed. I don't suggest doing this one early morning, like as soon as you wake up, because your body's pretty kind of cold and stiff. So you're better off doing like one of the more intense yoga videos that we do, so like any of the leg strength ones, the waving through warriors, and then doing this, or at the end of a workout, at the end of a run, just when your body's a little bit warmer, when you get out of a hot shower or a hot bath, something like that. And enjoy. Let me see your progress. If anybody of you are down in the splits or even close, then send me photos, because that'd be wicked and I'd love to see them. Mwah! Lots of love to you all. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Happy splitting.